Yo guys, what is up? It's Teach here, coming at you again with another video over on Ark Survival Ascended, and in this video I'm going to show you how to make a completely automated berry farm inside of the game with the new addition of Sir Fiverr mate. Now, obviously you can see that I've got some butler survivor mates walking around. It tends to, you tend to need a few of them in order for this to work because they sometimes stop and take their mandated break is what they say. But for the most part, they will harvest your berries for you and then place them in the fridge. You just need to know exactly how to do it and what to do. It's really, really helpful. And so I started this about, let's call it 30 minutes ago. And this is what I'm looking like right now. So that's almost a fridge full there. That one still hasn't been full. This one's we're getting a lot of berries really quickly. Now, I do have a whole bunch of these and I've learned a lot of mistakes on how to not do it and how to do it. So I'll show you how to set it up really quickly and it's going to be super useful. If you haven't seen my Survivor Mate video to tell you everything you need to know about them, check that out. That'll make this quite a bit easier. But let's go ahead and get started. So essentially what you're going to do is you are going to place down small crop plots or regular crop plots depending on what you want to grow. In all of mine, I have Mijo berries, so they are growing at maximum speed that is allowed by a server, so the survivor mates will come and pick it up. And then, so that's what I'm currently growing. Now, the big thing that you want to watch out for when you place your crop plots, you want to make sure there's room between them, because survivor mate will sometimes get stuck on the other side of things. But if you have room between your crop plots to be able to move around and do what I'm doing right now, Survivor Mate will be able to figure it out and he will take all of the berries that are available. You can see this guy said, I'm going to take a break now. We're going to go ahead and pick him up because he's going to be used as our example anyways. So sometimes they'll kind of just stop and I'll explain how to get them going again in just a second here. So now we've talked about the type of crop plot. You can use any type of berry, like I said. You can use narcos, stem berries, whatever you want. It doesn't matter. You can grow all of them and the survivor mate will help you keep it all organized. And then the only thing that you'll need is a survivor mate, those crop plots we talked about, and then a place to put the berries. Now I've got them in a refrigerator with berries labeled and he will automatically put it over there. So I'm just going to go show you a little neat trick. Now, I'm sure they will fix this by the way, but for right now, sometimes when survivor mate stops moving, you have to leave render range, and then when you go back inside of render range, they start doing their jobs again. I don't know why they do that, but they do for some reason. See how they've gone back to working. He's like, okay, I should probably empty the berries. Yes, you should. Thank you for doing that. But let's go ahead and talk about how to set your survivor mate up in order to actually automate your farm. So the first thing you're going to need is a survivor mate themselves. So go ahead and place him down. And you'll see he spawns in the follower mode. That is not the mode that we want them in. So what you're going to do is you're going to take the resources or the berries that you want this guy to harvest. Now, for every single berry that you want him to harvest, you will be required, this is not a joke, you will need to place them in his inventory and set them as the required function. So if I have Mijo berry, I'm going to go ahead and then add his input. See how it moves it down there. And then once you've done that, you're going to go ahead and set him to butler mode. Now, the purple mode is butler mode, and what's going to happen is they are eventually going to see the berries inside of these, and then they are going to pick the berries out of those. And in order to pick the berries out of those, you have to have enable automated withdrawal. Now, you can add as input here if you want to leave certain number of stacks in there, but it doesn't, it doesn't matter all that much. You can, but just up to you if you want to do that. So basically, enabling automated withdrawal will let your survivor mate pull berries from this and place them inside of your refrigerator. In order to place them inside of the refrigerator, you need to right click, add as input, and then type the number of stacks you want to be inside of the fridge. 80 is the maximum number of stacks, so I've gone ahead and set that as the maximum. Now, because they've stopped again, it's because I'm just right next to them and they get like confused. I'm sure Ark will fix this like I just said, but if you leave render range for a hot second, they will think about what they're doing with their lives, take their emotional breaks that they need to take, and then they will return to work. Now, if you have them set up for more than one task, it seems to help quite a bit. When they only have one task, they tend to get a little bit lost. I'm not really sure why. But they do. So see how this guy, even though I left render range, the other three haven't quite recognized their tasks yet. This guy is like, I'm going to go ahead and start harvesting berries for you. And then he will keep doing that. And once he has harvested those berries, see how he's like, okay, I should probably get the other berries. Yes, you should. And then once he gets full, he will put them inside of this zone. So how do you set this pad up, right? So the big things that you want to look for is to avoid any structure collision problems. See how he's still collecting? We're going to go ahead and I'm just going to show you real quick. You don't even need a pad, technically. It just helps. I'm just going to build one off to the side of this thing. And yeah, so you will need quite a bit of space to run the Survivor Mate, because for some reason in small congested areas, they get stuck and they get really pissy. So we're going to go ahead and avoid that. So it's going to take a second for that to all go away, but it will. And then you can also, in case you're nearby berries that can be collected, you can actually change their mode to harvester mode. And this is kind of cool because they'll start clearing berries from nearby, and he'll pick up all of the berries and then put them inside of the fridges too. So like that's both ways to make an automated farm. All right, so anyways, from scratch, we've got our crop plots. Let's go ahead and place down some more crop plots. Where are my crop plots? I had them. There they are. All right, so we're going to go ahead and just place single crop plots on the outside here. And the reason I'm doing it on the outside is if you place them in the middle, the Survivor Mate tends to get confused, tends to get lost, and it's not super great. So once you have this, you're going to go ahead and take fertilizer. I need to make some fertilizer. I'm going to go ahead and get fertilizer. And I'm going to deposit some in there and then some in there. It doesn't matter how much. As long as you keep them fertilized, you're pretty good to go. Now you can also, this is a fun one, you can automate the fertilizer process. So I can actually set this, right click as an input. And if I want to keep 5 stacks in there, I can basically enable my bot to automatically put stacks inside of that. So let's go ahead and go to, let's just make a storage box, right? Really, it's not going to work for me. Okay, storage box. All right. So let's go ahead and slap this thing down, and let's take our fertilizer, place it in there. We'll go ahead and enable automated withdrawal. And basically what will happen is we're telling the bots now it's kind of like a programming kind of thing, right? So add as input 5 stacks, add as input 5 stacks. If I want to keep 5 constantly in each one of these things, and he will automatically remember to do that. Now, sometimes it takes a second, and sometimes when they overlap like this, when you've got multiple butlers, it doesn't seem to be super helpful, but it's more of when they only have one task, it'll cause problems for them. But again, like I said, leaving render range tends to fix them from, I don't know, from stalling, if you want to think of it that way. See, as soon as I left render range, he resumes his task. So I'm going to go ahead and go over here, and I should have some more fertilizer. And now I can add that as an input for him. I can go ahead and add this as an input for him. And as long as it's in their input menu, they will actually continue to gather those things. And that's kind of what we're trying to do. And again, you can go over here and then right click add as input. And it should start working automatically. Now notice how that guy just started getting back to work. And we're going to go ahead and say, okay, so now he's got his stuff. He's picking up his fertilizer. And wait, did he just pull the fertilizer out of that? It's because, yeah, that's why. I was like, why is that happening? You have to set these to add as input 5 stacks for all of them. Otherwise, he's going to pull the fertilizer out of it. So you want to make sure that 5 stacks is set inside of each of these things. Because if 5 stacks is not set on each of those things, perfect. Now look at this. See how he immediately went over there and he was like, okay, 5 stacks is what I need. And that's how you do it. All right. So now we have essentially entirely automated this entire farm by, notice how he's going to go over this box. He's going to be like, I need to pull fertilizer. And then he'll go back over there. Isn't that sweet? So now, and the cool thing too, is when they have more than one task, it seems to fix their like inability to move. As long as they've got the Mijo berries and the fertilizer as their options, they will start actually moving around and doing what they need to do, which is kind of nice, obviously. So yeah, so you can pretty much automate the whole task and it makes it very nice. But that is pretty much the basics of automating a farm. You can do this with all berries, but the secrets are to add as input 5 stacks. And then once you have that added as an input, they will automatically go over to that. And then you enable automated withdrawal out of that. And yeah, should be pretty helpful. And then obviously you can see they're all focused on this side over here. I don't know why, but that's what they decided to focus on. But hopefully this video helps you out, is how you automate a farm, and they will continue to fill these fridges as long as someone renders them occasionally. They will go ahead and fill all your fridges, and yeah, just keep putting more and more berries in there, making an automated farm completely possible. So anyways, hopefully this video helps you out, and other than that, teach.